What's up, everybody, and welcome back. This week's video, we're gonna tackle one of these very minimalist kind of like card slips. Something you can throw a couple cards in, a couple dollar bills in, slip right in your front pocket for those days that you want to travel light. So this actually came as like one of those happy accidents where I was making one of these money clip wallets, which I think I'm going to tackle in the next video. But I ended up messing up on the back stitch for the spine back here, and I didn't want to waste, all this leather, so I ended up cutting it off and kind of cleaning up the top edge, stuff like that. Like on that one, you can kind of still see where the pricking irons went through, but thought it was cool. Just a little super slim minimalist wallet. Again, you can throw your ID in, card, couple dollars, go out for the night. You're not carrying around a big, bulky, multi-card, your whole life in a wallet. So, alright, so real quick as usual, let's knock out these measurements. And this is for the one pocket that goes on, I guess you can consider it the inside. 3 inches wide, and it is 3 1/4 tall for that pocket. And this one also 3 inches wide, and this one is going to be 3 and what looks to be 5/8 tall. This once we cut it out, I'll give you the measurement for this piece, because I use this for when I make this one. So I don't really have a pattern out for that, but this is going to be 3 inches wide. And I think when I laid it out, I was able to get this tall one on here and get that on there, but I guess I could just measure it. So this one's 4 and then looks like 1/8 tall. So let's get to cutting. Alright, and as usual, we are going to, I guess we'll need to replace that blade because I can't snap any more off that. Alright, now we can cut. That one, and this should be good for the body. Then we'll just cut another section of this out. And as far as leather, I want to say this is I think it's MGP, the graffiti in blue. And this is just one of those arc punches, half rounds, whatever you want to call it. I'll just start that, and then I'll move it over to my punch pad and actually punch it all the way through. And this one's an actual like end strap. just connect. All right, let's move over to the punch pad over here. All right, now what I'll do is I'll get some sandpaper, clean these edges up, and bevel and start burnishing them. Cool. So I'll go ahead and clean these up a little bit more and start burnishing them. I did a light sand on them before I beveled them, but now I'll go back through with like a higher grit. Make them look good. Alright, just got some water, one of these little foam like paintbrush things. Did a very quick sand on those as well. Just put some, I'm not dyeing these, so that's why I'm using water. Cool. So now I'll grab some higher grit, probably scuff them up one more time, and then we'll hit them with some Tokonol. Try to let this tack up a little bit before I start burnishing it. Not too bad. Cool, so now we will grab our stamp. Let's throw our stamp on here, and then we can actually start putting this thing together. So now we got a stamp on. One thing I did notice when I cut this out, there's this little like weird spot right there. So piece of leather's still good. So what I'm gonna do is actually use this pocket to cover it so you won't even see it. So what we can do is let's go ahead and mark on our leather where we need to rough. Cool, so we'll let that dry and then we will stick it together. All right, should be good and tacked up. All right, so now we can throw this one over here and get our measurement for where we need to rough. All right, let that tack up and we will stick it together. I think that should be good. All right, I'm gonna let this tack up a little bit more, and then we'll get these edges cleaned up, clip these corners, and then it should be ready to stitch. Then we'll be done. All right, now what we can do is I'm gonna go ahead and clip these corners. Cool, so now I'll grab some sandpaper and just clean these up, and then we'll bevel this and then lay our stitching marks. Cool, so we can slide on over and start punching some holes and getting ready to stitch this. So I'm thinking about, for the thread color, doing gray. I think that would look good. Oh, if I could get this peeled off here. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be a nice little contrast. So guess we go ahead and get this measured out. So basically measure out what we think we're gonna need, and then we pull off ×4. So that's 3. That's 4. And always go a little bit extra just in case. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my stitching pony set up, and then we will put this puppy together, or stitch it together. Got my needles. So I go through, under, and then I pull basically up into the cut, or the away from me, and because the slit's going that way, and then I push this through, over, pull, and then kind of pull at an angle going upwards, but not all the time. That's I'm not thinking about it, I'm just stitching. Stitch. Just in case anyone cared. If you're ever getting pliers, make sure you get some that are smooth jaw. I picked these up at Harbor Freight, super cheap. And because this is just a little small card keeper, I'm not gonna backstitch again, just for one, just to keep it symmetrical. So you got a double stitch on both tops. I'll clip it, burn it, and that's not gonna go nowhere. So. Ceiling fan's killing me. Cool, so now take it back over to the bench. We'll go ahead and just do one more quick sand on these just to make sure everything's good. Then we'll burnish it and we are done. All right, so go ahead and get our little bit of water. I cleaned these edges up already. Now we can go ahead and start burnishing. And again, this is just water and one of those cheap like foam paint brushes. These corners are kind of hard to get without shaking the table like crazy. I want to make y'all sick watching my videos. All right, I'm gonna grab some higher grade sandpaper and hit these again, and then we'll do a quick round of Tokonol. All right, so I got some, this is 800, just to kind of polish it up a little bit before we put the Tokonol on and just clean up any of the stuff we might have missed. There's a couple random hairs, so I'm gonna just take my lighter and kind of singe them back. In case anybody was wondering, fire is a tool. All right. Got me a piece of canvas. This is a 50-50 mixed Tokonol and water. And because we've already pretty much burnished, we don't need to put that much Tokonol. Like that was actually probably a little bit too much. I just like to kind of rub it in until it gets a little dry and tacky. And then I will kick over to my either burnishing slick, wood slicker, or whatever you want to call it, or my canvas. Alright, and that is it. I said nothing crazy, just a cool little minimalist card wallet. Guess what I'm thinking about? Let's go ahead and pop this glue on the inside. Give it a quick buff. Let me see. Got a couple cards here. So yeah, so again, just a super basic, nothing crazy, minimalist card slip, front pocket carry. Put a couple cards in there. Put, I guess it would be quartered up cash, so half. It would be a quarter. You can shove that in there. Something again, if you're going out for the night, you could throw your ID, your ladies or significant others ID in, a couple cards, go out, you're not carrying a bunch. Yeah, and just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody for subscribing, all the new subscribers. Channel's slowly growing, which is cool. A couple of you have reached out asking questions, which is awesome. If you guys ever have any questions about anything I'm using or an item I have, if you're interested in buying, feel free to reach out. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And with that, if anybody's interested in this, shoot me a message. We'll try to work out a deal and get this sent out. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. We'll see you guys on the next one.